God's character is shown by what he does, not by what he doesn't do. Let me explain using Elijah as an example. So Elijah goes to King Ahab and says, because you've worshipped other gods, because you've listened to Jezebel and let her lead you away from the Lord and worship other gods, you are now not going to have any rain in the land until I say so. Now, I don't know exactly what Elijah was thinking about. The Bible doesn't tell us, but if he's thinking similarly to how a lot of us think, or would naturally think, he's thinking, yeah, God's going to punish those sinners, but me, he's going to take care of me. I'm going to be totally fine. I'm going to go somewhere where the famine isn't hitting, and I'm going to be just blessed and blessed because I'm following God. But that didn't happen. Elijah ended up having to run for his life, hide in a ravine where he got meat and bread from ravens. And we look at this and we're like, wow, God miraculously provided food for Elijah. And that perspective is correct. However, if we think about putting ourselves in Elijah's position, I mean, you're hiding in a ravine, so you're getting lonely, and meat and bread every single day would definitely get old. And then, now that the meat and bread's old, his little spring dries up, so he doesn't have any water. He has to go somewhere else. God sends him to this widow to stay with, and she only feeds him bread, so he doesn't have the meat now. So you can look at this and be like, well, God, you're not providing the fruits and vegetables and proper nutrition, and you're not providing enough blessings for all the persecution and stuff Elijah's gone through. Or you can look at this and say, wow, Elijah was caught up in really difficult circumstances through no fault of his own because of somebody else's mistake, and God still provided for him. Look at what the Lord did. Look at how he's a provider. So God is showing the Israelites that he's the Lord, that he's the one that can protect and provide, and these idols have no power through controlling the weather, and then later on Mount Carmel, showing that he's the God who can send fire from heaven, and he's the God who can send rain. But despite all these victories, Jezebel is still not removed from power. Idol worship is still promoted in Israel, and Elijah ends up having to run for his life again. And this time, Elijah acts out of fear. He runs out into the wilderness. He's like, God, just let me die. I'm done. But how does God respond? God responds by bringing Elijah food again, by providing yet again, and leading him to the mountain of God, and meeting him there with a still, small voice in beautiful gentleness. And he restores Elijah. He's a restoring God because he restored Elijah. Even when Elijah forgot to look at what God does instead of what he didn't do. So when we look to see the character of God, we look to see what God does, not what he didn't do.